The story she was talking about was the story about the coach in Washington who was praying at a football game. He got fired in 2015, and his case is before the Supreme Court right now. Apparently, the Supreme Court majority was sympathetic to a coach who prayed at midfield. The questions about Joe Kennedy's actions and the school district's reasons for disciplining him might lead to a narrow resolution. Oh my God, motherfucker! Kneeling in front of the Supreme Court. This is former Bremerton High School assistant football coach Joe Kennedy. Supreme Court's conservative justices seemed sympathetic on Monday to a former high school football coach who lost his job after leading post-game prayers at midfield. But the path to a decision is complicated by both the coach's actions and the school district's purported reason for disciplining him. Joseph A. Kennedy's lawyer said the assistant coach was asking only for a private moment to take a knee and express gratitude to God on the gridiron after a game. But lawyer Paul D. Clement acknowledged that Kennedy's actions at Bremerton High School near Seattle had at times gone far beyond that, including leading players and others in prayer. Richard B. Kotsky, representing the Bremerton School District, said officials had an obligation to protect students from being coerced into religious activity they do not want. But justices said that they might be rationalization because the official's complaint to Kennedy was that his actions would be seen as government speech, violating constitutional commands against government endorsement of religion. Maybe a case about facts and not really much about law, said Justice Stephen G. Breyer. I don't know why I fucked that up. Fuck you, Breyer. Beginning his last week of oral arguments before his scheduled retirement. In general, Breyer and the court's other two liberals seemed to think Bremerton officials had tried to accommodate Kennedy's prayer request to pray silently after games, but that what he really wanted was a public platform to involve players and the greater community. Questions from the court's conservatives indicated that they believe the school district has misread the court's precedents regarding government endorsement of religion and perhaps were hostile to such demonstrations. Old Pube Can, Justice Clarence Thomas, who should be impeached, questioned whether Kennedy would have been disciplined if he had taken a knee during the national anthem to protest racism. Justice Samuel A. Alito Jr. questioned Kotsky, a legal director at Americans United for Separation of Church and State, about other political activism. Suppose when Coach Kennedy went out to the center of the field, all he did was wave a Ukrainian flag. Would you have fired him? Kotsky said the school district could discipline a coach for such actions because it doesn't want its events taken over for political speech. Where is the school district rule that says that, Alito demanded. The case brings complicated questions about the ability of public employees to live out their faith and the government's competing responsibility to protect school children from coercion and to remain neutral on the subject of religion. It calls for examining the interplay between the First Amendment's Establishment Clause, which forbids government endorsement of religion, and its Free Speech and Free Exercise Clause, which prohibit government restraints on the private observance of religion. He is acting as an agent of the state. He works for the school. So Joe Kennedy is obscured at the center in blue, surrounded by Centralia High School football players as they kneel and pray with him on the field after their game against Bremerton High School, where Kennedy worked, in Washington State in 2015. So, here's the angle I'm going to take on this, and this one might surprise you. I'm going to end this right now. I'm going to end this and show how the coach was in the wrong. He says he has a right to express his faith. But what does his faith say? These are red letters in the Bible. I want you to know that this came straight from Jesus' mouth. You don't see it on the screen. Matthew 6:5. And when you pray, do not be like the hypocrites, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and on the street corners to be seen by others. Truly I tell you, they have received their reward in full. But when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. Then your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. And when you pray, do not keep on babbling like pagans, for they think they will be heard because of their many words. Do not be like them, for your Father knows what you need before you ask. The verse clearly says, Jesus commanding you not to make a show of prayer. And if you ask me, trying to pray after your football games is making a show of prayer. And taking a case involving you trying to play after football games all the way to the United States Supreme Court is a show of prayer. Going to your little fucking hearing and kneeling in front of the Supreme Court like that is making a show of prayer. I don't even know why this is an issue. Jesus isn't on your side, buddy. Not only is it against our laws, it's against your own fucking religion, dude. Pack it up. Kiss my ass. I was having that argument with somebody earlier today, and they said, oh, well, we'll continue to pray for you. And my response to them was my meme. It is a meme that I made of one of my jokes that I tell on stage. This woman said that she would pray for me. I told her that she was going to murmur my name to herself to at least do it while masturbating. That way at least one of us gets something out of it. Anytime anybody tells me they're going to pray for me, I take the opportunity to post this. Some dude was like, yoink, that's mine now. I'm like, please share out my meme.